When there's a chill in Hawaii's humid air and the rising ocean becomes treacherous, eyes scan the horizon for the rising constellation Makahiki, which signals the time of Lono. The season of Lono is known as Makahiki, and this is Legends from the Pacific. Aloha, and thank you for joining us. This is Legends from the Pacific, episode 37, Hawaii's fertility god, Lono, and Makahiki. I am Kamuela Kaneshiro, a professional writer, speaker, and Comic-Con panelist with extensive film and television experience. I study mythology, I've encountered unusual things, and I'm a geek. You can now listen to our show on Audible. Just search for Legends from the Pacific on Audible and enjoy. We are also on Amazon Music, India's streaming service Gaana, and Player.fm. Later in this episode, your featured song and Hawaiian word, but first, Lono. Lono is also called Lono Makua, or Lono the Provider. Other Pacific cultures have a similar god named Oro. Lono is one of Hawaii's 4 major gods who were around before the creation and helped shape the universe. Because of Lono's association with fertility and food plants, Hawaii's wet months are dedicated to Lono. Hawaiians mark this time when the star cluster Makali'i, which you might know as Pleiades or the Seven Sisters, rise over the horizon at sunset. This starts the 4-month time of Makahiki. Makahiki is a time of peace, festivals, and when non-essential work was forbidden. That's right, this was 4 months of vacation time for most Hawaiians. But certain things were off limits. As you know, the Hawaiians studied nature and noticed during Makahiki the tide and waves were higher, which allowed sharks to swim over Hawaii's protective reefs to get closer to shore. The shark is an aumakua, or spirit animal, so the Hawaiians would respect the sharks and not go swimming. The surf slogan, Eddie would go, and Hawaii's big wave surf contest, the Eddie, were named after Hawaiian lifeguard and surfer Eddie Aikau. The Eddie doesn't run every year, but only when waves average between 70 and 80 feet. But contrary to Hawaiians surfing large waves, ancient Hawaiians did not do this. The Hawaiians saw these waves and said it was the god's time to surf. So no surfing, which goes with no going into the ocean during Makahiki. Lono was also the god of peace, so fighting and wars were forbidden. However, warriors could challenge each other in physical sports like wrestling or games like ulu maika, where you roll a stone the size of a hockey puck between 2 sticks. There are also cerebral challenges like storytelling and remembering genealogy records. Some village elites proved their right to rule by allowing warriors and people to throw spears at the ali'i who would parry or dodge them. Still to come, your featured song and Hawaiian word, but now a story. The following is Legends from the Pacific original story and is based on cultural testimony. During the Age of Gods, Lono wished to find a wife. He found a beautiful woman, took human form, and descended on a rainbow to be with her. But she was tempted by another god and was unfaithful to Lono. A broken-hearted and enraged Lono killed his wife, which was witnessed by the Hawaiians. They asked Lono for his name, but the god refused to give it. Lono knew he had to earn his freedom and challenged the Hawaiians for it. The Hawaiians accepted the unnamed stranger's challenge. And when Lono said the Hawaiians, he meant all the Hawaiians. Lono went to all the islands, challenging anyone who'd accept his invitation to any sport they named. The Hawaiians were shocked that this stranger bested their top warriors, scholars, kahunas, and ali'i. With the last challenger bested, Lono needed to leave. He created a massive canoe, the likes of which the Hawaiians have never seen. Lono's canoe could hold a village. Its sails were the finest cloth, and Lono could sail it alone. The Hawaiians stocked Lono's canoe with supplies and livestock. Lono thanked them and vowed to the Hawaiians that one day he'll return. He boarded his immense canoe and sailed for Tahiti. Coming up, your featured song and Hawaiian word. You can support us by becoming a Patreon supporter and download your 3 exclusive stories of my paranormal experiences today. You can also support us by getting 2 or 3 of your friends to listen to our show. As you can tell from our closing story, it's believed the games and activities played during Makahiki mirrored Lono's challenges. Today, Hawaii celebrates Makahiki with a celebration called Aloha Week, which became the Aloha Festival. Each year, the festival is given a theme, a royal court is created, and a parade with lavish floats created by organizations as well as the hotel industry. There's also a night where streets are blocked off for a massive street party known as Ho'olaulea, which has live musicians, food stalls, and hula performances. My mom worked in the hotel industry, so there were many times I helped decorate her hotel's float or helped in a food booth. Of course, there's a famous connection between Lono and a European explorer, but that's a story for another time. If you like what you heard, please give us a rating, write a review, and share Legends from the Pacific with your friends and family. I'd really appreciate it. Our theme song is Mystery by Tavana, courtesy of High Sessions. Sound effects were by Sound Effects Factory. Our music coordinator is Matt Duffy, aka DJ TripleBypass. Links and show notes can be found on our website, legendsfromthepacific.com, including a link to your featured song, which is Radio Hula Yellow Ginger Lei by Ledward Ka'apana, courtesy of High Sessions. Legends from the Pacific was written, produced, and edited by me, Kamuela Kaneshiro. I also wrote our original stories. Your featured Hawaiian word is la'au. La'au means plants or vegetation. An example of la'au is Batman Rogue Poison Ivy can control la'au. Once again, la'au is plants or vegetation. Please don't confuse la'au with the Hawaiian delicacy lau lau, or a party which is known as a luau. Once again, la'au is plants or vegetation, lau lau is a Hawaiian food, and luau is a party. Wow, did a 3 for there. Thank you once again for listening. Mahalo and a hui ho.